Ian Rappaport tweeted out yesterday the Lions are exploring trade options involving linebacker Jamie Collins. Sources say they have fielded calls. Detroit is going young there, which means Collins may be on his way out if there is a match. And again, that's Ian Rappaport. That's not some dude. It's not some dude out there on the street talking about this. This is Ian Rappaport. And Joique, to some degree, and stay with me here on this one, I'm going to go the long way. To some degree, this makes me feel a little bit better because I see the game correctly because I've talked about this the entire 2 weeks of the season so far. Yeah. They are not good enough on the edge. They're not good enough at the linebacker spot. They haven't been in a long time.
I said get more. And when you ask, I said get more talent in, or switch up our defense to put our players in a better position to make plays to be successful. And some of the film that I watched against the Packers, they were capturing our edge.
They were exploiting it. Not capturing it. They were exploiting it.
They were, and we're going to get into it. And I didn't even pull up any run. I was going to go into the passing game with our RBs coming out of the backfield. But it was a few plays throughout the game that I saw that I said, we need some help. We need some help. And some things, I thought we'll be able to kind of mask it or hide it, but no, there's no way we can hide it. So, when I saw in the game, I wasn't impressed.
But to your point and to Neil's point about us guys who haven't played, but if we're seeing it correctly, because hasn't it been in the past where we've seen it, and not with this regime, but in past Lions where we as fans think we see it the way, and then the team tells us, no, you ain't seeing it right. You ain't seeing it right. Well, it seems to me we're all seeing it the same way, and this is how you build the foundation and progress forward. Now, shout out Jamie Collins and stuff like this, but obviously, if you can't do the job and it's time to move on, this regime, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, isn't afraid to move pieces in place. So now, what are we looking for? Is it give Derek Barnes an opportunity, which we're excited. So to me, that shows every week they're trying to get better, and sometimes you got to erase to add.
Right, and for me, it's exactly what you said, D-Mac, and that's a great point that you brought up, because in the past, we all saw the same type of things. And as you said, we got the propaganda. No, it's fine. We're not making any moves. We're not doing anything. This actually makes me, and I'm not saying, you got to go listen to the fans and do everything the fans say. No, I'm not saying that. Dan Campbell forgot more about football drinking his coffee this morning than I'll ever know in my life. I get that. I understand that. Yeah. I comprehend that. But with all that being said, I'm not blind, and he is kind of confirming this. I think the organization is kind of confirming this. Hey, this is a big-time weakness. And this is a dude that's on a 3-year, $30 million contract that's got, and I'm not even talking about the money because that's market-based. You only get what somebody's willing to give you. I don't hate that. I'm a big players guy. Go get your money. But the fact of the matter is that this guy's a $13 million cap hit next year, a $7.3 million cap hit this year, but it doesn't matter. You got to move on from this guy because Joique, he's just not good enough. And I respect the fact that he's a Pro Bowler. I respect the fact that he played well at New England. But the film don't lie. As you always tell me, Joique, film don't lie.
That's not what I say, but that's not what I say.
The eye in the sky.
The eye in the sky.
The eye in the sky doesn't lie.
The eye in the sky exactly. What's up?
Joique, my question to you, right, is when you were in the locker room, no matter which locker room, whether it was Detroit or anywhere else or whatever, but when you see things go on around in the organization, because as a player if a guy can cut it or not, or if he's long in the tooth and he's there because of this or that, but when you see an organization that is making these tough decisions, because even it's not about what the cap money is or anything like that, it's about football. Have you seen that before? Does that give you as a player more motivation to say, hey, if I do my job and I'm the best at it, then these guys are looking for, this is a blessing for a player in the locker room?
I see what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. And that, this is a numbers game, right? And so if they pay you, they have to play you. And so if they want to trade this guy, you see they didn't cut him.
No.
If he was only getting paid, say $1 million this year or less than that or minimum, he just would have got cut, right? But you can't just cut a guy and lose that revenue. So you got to figure out, you have to shop him around and do what's best for the team. Now, there's been times where I was on teams and I was playing behind guys I felt that I can contribute more than, right? And I didn't. They didn't allow me to. And when I felt I wasn't being appreciated in a certain location, I would just, make my argument to go to another team. And they'll try to argue to keep me there, and they'll try to, it's going to be you and such next year. We just, we have to play them because da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well, you do what you have to do. I'm going to do what I have to do.
Okay.
But every team doesn't operate the way that the Detroit Lions is operating right now.
Right.
Right. And so if I was to see that in my locker room, then yes, that would make me excited.
Okay.
Right. It will make me excited because, okay, I remember Shannon Sharp spoke at my Harlan Hill ceremony, and he told me that, in his speech, he said that regardless of where you played in college, once you get on that football field, none of that matters anymore. If you can play football, you can play football. It doesn't matter if you went to Alabama. It doesn't matter if you went to LSU. It doesn't matter if you went to USC. It doesn't matter what school you went to. Once you step on that field, that contract can't save you out there, right? It's all football. If you can play, you can play. If you can't, you can't. And that's it. And coming out of his mouth, I was a young bull, kind of finding my way through, and that inspired me. I remember him saying that no matter the amount of work a coach would make him do, it wasn't worse than where he came from, and he was willing to do whatever to kind of not go back to where he came from. So
we have this adage, and you and I, it just clicks something because we're the same way.
Yeah.
We'll hey, whatever you keep talking, whatever it is, we'll find out when we get in the pool. When you get in the pool, we're on which the pool we call the ice, right?
There's no lies told.
When you jump in the water,
there's no lies told.
There's no, it's all deep end. So you better learn to swim, and you get that, like the image, the shade, this guy coming from here, and then you get out on the ice, and you might have had to grind yourself to get there, and he's a first rounder. It doesn't matter, and you go, man, we just the same game as when we were 5, just a little bigger, a little stronger, and I'm still crazy, so let's go. Let's go.
It's fun, and
Woodward Sports, let's go.
and then you learn, and the thing, once you get there, and then you have these guys, it's good to have them in the locker room,
absolutely,
right? Because you can learn a lot. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler, so you can learn some things from. He's going to know some tricks and trades that he's going to give to the younger guys to make them better as well. Because it's about the big team, little me, and so
the big thing too is when, and it's the same thing as what I look for now in people. It's do you have that motor? Can I just point you somewhere, but are you going to go do the work? Because I'm not going to do the work for you. So that's the one thing. And when veteran guys see that you're raw, but see that they have something to work with, they gravitate towards you and want to share that knowledge, because it's like you said, it's the little I, big we, right? So it's like it makes sense. So it doesn't matter what sport. When at the end of the day, you got to play the game.